Welcome everybody to another episode of CryptoEMC. Today's hot topic is buying Bitcoin. Should we be looking at buying? Yes, should we be looking at buying with fear or not? So today what we're going to do, we're going to be looking at that. We said yesterday on the stream, today we're going to be looking at smaller time frames. We're going to be looking at some key areas where we need to be focusing our attention on. And we're going to talk a little bit about, Lee, what are we going to talk about?
We're going to talk about the Fed. Are we going to talk about the Fed? Some scams.
Talking about Dogecoin. We're going to be talking some scams. So stay tuned. Don't jump off. There's a lot to be learned and a lot to share from our sides today. So thanks for being here, guys, and congratulations for finding us. We knew we're small. We're still making our way up to becoming a big established YouTube channel. And I want to thank each and every one of you guys for supporting us. Greetings from all around the world. I mean, we've got India. We've got, I've seen those comments switching up. And we've got our regulars, Ragnar, Crypto Rock, one of our regulars. Thank you very much for tuning in every day. We appreciate each and every one of you.
Don't forget Stefan, BitLady.
Are we going to get into this? Are we going to get into
Thank you.
Awesome, guys. So let's get busy. Lee, stop fooling around with my board.
We can see you are pressing the button. You're moving. I'm not moving.
I'm blaming it on Lee. We are in a Christmas spirit. And at the moment, Christmas is definitely slowing the markets down. It's usually been expected from us. And luckily, we prepared each and every one of you guys. So if you've been tuning up to our streams regularly, you would have not been caught off guard with the crypto. I won't say what, winter, maybe a little bit of a winter.
It is crypto winter. Not in South Africa, but it is crypto winter in Europe.
In South Africa, it's a crypto, I don't know what's the real word, but a crypto storm because it's just raining every day. So let's move on. Let's talk about stuff we actually know and stop talking nonsense. Lee, we've got Bitcoin and we've looked at a couple of charts yesterday. And let's maybe think about this little article that's surfacing now while we do this. So it's the Federal Reserve is expected to take a very big step towards its first rate hike. Now, I'm not a qualified economist. I'm going to be honest with you guys. So I tend to stick to the stuff I know well. Lee, same for you. We don't really tend to want to go out of our scope of knowledge. But there's one thing I want you guys to take note of this. When the interest rate is low, the bank does not get incentivized to hold the money. Meaning, you go to the bank, you put your money in the bank. The interest rate is low, meaning the bank for holding your money is not getting a whole lot of money for it. They still pay banking, they still charge banking transactions and those things. But think about it, holding dollars at this stage is not lucrative for the bank. So what do? They give you discounts on interest of getting a mortgage, in financing a vehicle. They want to take that money and get it out again into the economy. So if I'm the Fed and I bring the interest rate down, it actually supports the fact that we want the public to be making debt, buying stuff that they probably can't afford. Now, once all that is done, what happens? They think of, no, this is not good. Now let's punish those that made debt by bringing up the interest rate. So those guys that took up the interest rate and have a variable interest rate based to what it is, they're going to be feeling the pain so much. And what is it going to do to the banks? It's a signal for the banks to slow down, stop borrowing so much money. We're not going to be printing any more money soon. And that might then be a little bit of a negative for the stock market and for everything else around that level. So just food for thought.
Is that not another scam? Think about the people who has borrowed money on a variable interest rate, every year. You were promised to have interest rate for 0.1%, and then all of a sudden it jumped to like 4% a year.
There you go. Another scam. Compliments of the banking sector. So, I mean, guys, these are crazy things, and there's a lot of these scams. I think today we discussed something about that MILF coin scam, and I think who was the influencer, Aiden Ross, that basically he got paid almost $200,000.
It's not a recent story. It was 2021 scams.
Yeah, we were looking back at it, but I mean, we were discussing this, and I mean, so he got paid like $200,000 to talk about and buy some coins live, and a lot of people got hurt on that, and that's kind of where our beef is with a lot of influencers, in a sense that we're not going out to try and pick a fight with everybody. I mean, everybody starts probably with the most purest of intentions, and sometimes things get distorted, or you just make a mistake as well. So I don't want to really diss anybody as such, but the reality is that these type of things are things that you need to be lookout for. Buy stuff with good fundamentals. It means that you may not be the most popular child out there, because we all want to hype into the stuff, and we all want to get into the coin that everybody's talking about. But just because it's hypey doesn't necessarily mean it's a good coin. I'm a firm believer of slow and steady. You guys know this. Lee is a little bit more risky, but I don't think any of us bought MILF coin.
No.
Okay, so case in point. And there's many of those that's going to be out there, guys, and there's more to come. Signs of us moving into a big rally is that coins are going to be popping up left, right, and center. Every second team now has got an idea, and they are putting a coin out on the exchange because there's new young money waiting to grab what was going to be promised as the next big thing. So just keep that in mind while you're doing your Christmas shopping, not to go look for these crazy tokens. Think about the long game. Make sure that you invest wisely.
Or if you do, take it as a gamble. It's really like, red or black. Prepare to lose everything that you put on those new projects, because there's no TA, there's no chart. I mean, you cannot trade on a TA based on the TA on a 1 hour and a 1 day old chart. Even 1 week or 2 weeks old chart is not going to help you. So,
no. Okay, cool. Okay, let's stop rambling. Lee, let's bring up your chart. Show me your Bitcoin chart, buddy.
Okay. So let's try. My challenge today as well is to make as easy as possible and as condensed with a lot of information. So as we said yesterday, we're going to look into smaller time frame. So I decided to dive into this Bitcoin in one hour time frame or 15 minutes. I think it's pretty clear on 1 hour time frame that we are in a correction phase. So for me, we might be in the fourth wave to the downside. So 1, 2, 3, and now we are consolidating, making this fourth wave, and then maybe another sell-off, but later. So, but currently, what can we see on the fourth wave? I can't see. I can't see any impulse wave to go to one direction. Okay, so I only see like 3 waves, and for me in Elliott Wave theory, 3 waves, they are most of the case correction pattern. So we have this first A, B, C in yellow. We have another A, B, C, 3 wave down, and now maybe we're gonna do another A, another B, and another C. So the red pattern here is the one that I'm tracking. Now I've got what is this combination of ABCs? This is what we call a complex pattern. So a complex pattern, what we call it here WXY, is an addition of different correction pattern in the middle. Now with the calculation, and I'm gonna save this part, with the calculation of the targets of potential Y wave, the blue one here, and it end up in this zone, it's high, as well as the target of A and B and C going to that zone is also high. So if I'm tracking this in Elliott Wave theory, I want to see an impulse wave going up, because C, this is easy to remember, C is always a 5-wave structure. So I must track a 5-wave structure going to this box. But it doesn't mean that at that time here, it's not a selling, it's a keep. I mean, it's not a holder, it's not a long-term trade, right? Because my target right now, most probably will end up between 52 and 53. And that will be the supply zone here that we have on the previous drop. We cannot even go and challenge this imbalance area here on top. We might go there if they want to extend it a little bit, but this is a safe target for me if we go there to take profit. Okay.
Okay, Lee.
So
on our way to go and take profit, what do you want to see? How many waves do you want to see?
I want to see 5 waves.
Okay.
I want to see
the
5
idea
waves.
is
It doesn't have to be an impulse wave, but I want to see 5 waves.
5-wave structure. So a lot of craziness. So that the idea is that you can kind of sign this off. Now, we've done this before. We've traded these patterns a lot of times before.
Yes.
And we're going to show you an example of that. So now what I want to do, is there anything else you want to add, Lee?
Why I'm favorite when I'm put this ABC here on the plan, because I mean, without looking at RSI, I would just want to show you this fib level. Now, if you are following the streams and those episodes for a while now, since we started, I guess I have told you guys how important is that 123 level, right? So if you take this pivot low here to this pivot high, if you can get it now, from 0 to A basically, okay, we just stopped at 123, 45,674. So that is a level that indicate me that maybe this is a flat. A flat is 3 wave in A, a B, 3 wave in B, and now we have to finish with 5 wave in C. So this is what I'm tracking, 5 wave. In a smaller time frame, I want to see 5 wave. If there's any doubt that I'm not seeing 5 wave anymore, then this analysis will be invalidated.
Okay, so when we look at that 5 wave, you've got a fib level. Just show me the fib level to look at the most probable target that you've got. I mean, you've got that box marked up there at around 52, 53. And that's just a simple fib tool again that we can use. So it's the fib trend retrace.
Fib trend extension basically. And then the first click will be at the start of A, second click at the top of A, and third click bottom of B. And basically those are the level to watch. I mean, there's a less probability that we're gonna end at 618. 1, it's another probability of this C wave ending here at 1, 123 in the middle, and at least 1618, which is gonna come to 52,485. And in an order book or price action wise, that would make sense to me, because I'm assuming as well a lot of people has started to short, I mean, thinking that the market is gonna go much lower. So if you started to short within this area and put your stop loss here at the top at 51.9, or this kind of area 51.3, or even here, all those pivots here, it makes sense that the market wants to come up first, stop those people out if they wish to drop the price a little bit lower. So they want to take out all those impatient traders who started to short at the beginning. So that box to me will give us a higher high, and that will make sense to me that Bitcoin needs to go to this area first before we see another drop.
Thanks, buddy. Okay, guys. So if we're still confused, we're going to do it again, and we're going to do it with using a little bit of Wyckoff layered in that, because this is why we trade so well together. Wyckoff is waves within a lateral pattern, and Elliott is waves within waves. So when we can plug the two in, we can kind of understand what type of wave count we are looking at, and with a higher probability. Now, we said this saying ago, and I really want to repeat the saying again. The bulls make money, the bears make money, and the pigs get slaughtered. So there's definitely one thing that we want you to take away from this is when not to trade. A lot of these things, because a lot of these complex patterns, Lee, do we really like trading them?
Yes and no. You have to pick up your right area to trade those complex patterns, because when you trade this, you are really definitely not 100% sure that it's going to play out, because those complex patterns can change form and shapes at any new candles.
Why are they complex?
Because
everybody
like the name says, it's complex.
Yeah. Everybody's unsure. The market is crazy. The market's complex at this stage. Everybody, each one of you guys, You've got your own sentiment on the market at this stage. Let's quickly see here in the chat. Everybody's sending your sentiment. Everybody's got their own emotion and they're feeling. Maybe some of you in profit, maybe some of you not. That's lots of things. Each and every one of you are experiencing the market in a different way. Maybe some of you sold the top. Maybe some of you.
I see question like, can we trade? I see question like, can we trade? Yes, we can trade this. I'm going to share with you at the end of this episode how we can trade this, how we can trade, or how I trade this kind of patterns.
Okay, cool. So in the spirit of speeding things up, let's move to my chart. So Bitcoin daily, I'm going to flip to the 1 hour because Lee was talking about the 1 hour. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to expand this.
You can't see the chart.
Is it not showing? Let's remove it and add it again. Can you see it now?
It's coming, maybe not. I can't see. Guys, can you see his chart? Because I can't see.
That's weird. I'm trying it for the third time now. Can you see my chart, Daily? Stop screen and share screen again.
No.
Okay, so it's not just you that get buggy with this thing. It's me as well. So let's see. Third time lucky. Come on. 1, 2, 3 now.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Awesome. Okay, cool, guys. So back to where we were. I'm going to just flip back to the daily. I want to show you guys. I'm going to hit the auto button just to speed things up. You kind of know where we're at now. Lee was talking about this on the previous stream. So now let's zoom into that, and I'm going to go into the hourly. So when we look at that, now I can delete that little squibble there. Lee's marked out a couple of waves for you guys. He said that looks like a 3 wave. He had an additional 3 wave. Maybe it was over there, 1, 2, 3, something like that. And then 1, 2, 3. And then your question was, is this going to be 5? Or is this going to be 3? Am I correct?
Yes.
Now, when we want to plug this into Wyckoff, Wyckoff is, remember, waves within a lateral pattern. What do we want to see? If you study up Wyckoff, this area over here is what is always going to be known as the automatic reaction. Now, if you go and Google those Wyckoff patterns, that would be the first stop that everybody looks, because what happens? Price falls down and then there's a low volume spike to the upside. So if we were to put a lot of charts together, you can see that a lot of people got liquidated, high volume spikes, and then it starts going up at relatively low volume. You can see the volume there at the bottom. I cannot scale the volume bar. I wish I could do this here. That would have made it a little bit better. But I mean, you guys can see, maybe it's not going to do that much. Let's just leave it at the original zoom. I'm just messing myself up. Okay, cool. So now we've got this. What happens then is, remember, 1, 2, 3, we've got 3 waves there. You get what is known as the bottom of the range, which then creates the secondary test. So in this stage, what is that? Is that a secondary test of strength, or is it strength or a test of weakness? Well, the low is down there. I would imagine it's a test of strength. Now what we do is, from that point onwards, we can then do multiple tests. That's the part that Wyckoff doesn't show on those little schematics. We can have multiple tests, guys. Doesn't mean it needs to just test it once. And there's an additional one. But it's still a test of strength because we're not making lower lows. And from this point onwards, what am I looking at is, I'm looking at a scenario where I would want to try and trade the imbalance. Now that imbalance is hiding over there. And Lee's Fibonacci levels, starting at around this level. So there's confluence. We've got 2 scenarios where there's confluence playing. Now, what do I want to see? Well, personally, I would love to have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because what is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the end of the day? It is an impulse. Now, guys, before we stop there, let's quickly pause. Let's make sure everybody knows the difference between an impulse and a correction. Impulse is simple. When the market is trending in a direction, it will be impulsing. You're going to see similar color candles, low bottoms, no wicks to the bottom. And when it's correcting, you're going to see a blend of candle colors, and there's going to be wicks going up and down crazy all over the show. So with that being said, if I bring back this chart and I just use a different one and we just zoom in, on that, you can see that that's not an impulse. That's a correction, because there's wicks all over the show. And where was an impulse? There's an impulse, because there's a clear indication of trend direction. Okay, so those are important things. I want to see a clear impulse of trend direction. I'm not quite seeing at this stage. So we're treating this as a trade, and we're not looking at this as a buy that will take us to the moon. Now, Lee, normally what do you do when you see a scenario like that? Do you take one position or two positions?
Two position, at least two position.
So Lee will take two positions. And the idea is, if I take two positions, let's just change our color here and make it yellow. If I take two positions, say I'm going to buy, I'm going to give you a buy zone now. So I'm going to buy in that area. What if this is the end of the complex pattern, but we're still going to do a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the downside, make a lower low, sweep the lows. One position gets take profit here. Am I correct there, Lee?
Yeah.
And then the other position, what do you do with the stop limit?
Break even?
For the scenario. Okay, but we are not looking to try and predict too far ahead. So we're going to be trying to trade this. And if we get a entry in this area here, I would want to see us do what? Not make a lower low, because then at that stage, this can probably count as a 0. That can count as a 1, and that would be the 2. Am I correct? So then we're buying the 2. And what is the best wave to trade? A 2 to a 3. Agree with me there? So you've now had a little bit of Wyckoff. You've had a little bit of Elliott. The main idea is, this is all sounding very well. When is the last time that we did this, Lee?
I don't know. Too long.
Yes, it's been a while. But when did we
Few months
analyze
ago.
this?
Yeah.
We
Few months ago,
analyzed
when we
this.
just started, tweeting some signals or some sort out.
Okay. So this is where a lot of people got to know us. So we weren't, nobody predicted the bottom. I mean, let's be honest. But what did we do? We
I
gave
was
you that
$1,000 above the bottom. Oh, please, come on.
Sorry, Lee. We gave you that entry. I told you to get the hell out there. Lee gave you this entry. I gave you that entry with Lee. And lastly, what we did do is we got that entry as well. Taking us up. And that's just by applying the simple thing. So what are we doing? What did we have?
And
Well,
at
we
that
did
time, I was
exactly
always telling you guys, take two positions. One hit and run, and one, you keep it in case it goes up. One, you
Okay,
take
so-
profit, and then thank
and
you.
you just let it run. So now we currently may be there. We currently may be there. I don't know. But in the scheme of things, the market never repeats itself, but it always rhymes. We are trying to trade this now. That's where our thoughts at. With the new hypothetical 52 to 53 being the stop here. And then from that point onwards, if we start making a 5 wave, what do? We will get a lower low. So your second position will get stopped out. If we make an ABC correction, a 2-wave correction, that's fine. Then we're going to start moving to the upside from that point.
Maybe
So
we are
we
even at the
currently are
pivot
based-
above that one. No? Maybe we are even at the pivot before that one.
It can be. Remember,
next-
there can be
on the next.
multiple tests. It's the thing, please. Technical analysis has got a lot of limitations. Let's be honest with you guys now. Anybody that tells you I'm exactly going to be right the next day, we have fun. We laugh about these things. But remember, there's limitations to this. Please take this to heart. Okay. And we try and look at those limitations and say, okay, right, what do? We buy a trade, we take a trade, we manage our risk. If there was a foolproof trade strategy out there, why the hell should we worry about managing our risk? Lee, then we're just wasting our time. I hear people say, oh, stop limits. Well, then you're saying to yourself, you know what's going to happen next. That's the harsh reality. So please take a warning, but take the trade, enjoy it, have fun, because it's going to unfold in front of you, and you're going to be prepared for each and every scenario. Yes, it sucks if this is not the one that goes to the moon, but guess what? The next one might be. But if you keep on holding losing trades, you might get out when that next low is there, and then it turns. And that's normally when you feel like you just want to cover the camera because that somebody's looking at you trading. We don't want that to happen to you guys, Lee. So I think we try to make it simple and clear enough. And I do hope that you guys understand the scenario that we're trying to play. So now, last thing, what do we say? We want to look at the buy zone, the probable buy zone for this if it wants to play out. So I'm going to zoom back into this on the 1 hour. And I'm just going to do this. I'm going to just delete all the squibbles. And I just want to show you guys this. The probable buy for me. And there's no time limit on this one.
Okay, maybe first show the risk to reward ratio. If you take a trade right now at 48, you have your target at 52. Where is your stop? What will be your risk to reward ratio?
So if you take a trade now, 1.4.
1.4.
1.5.
Yeah. So is it it is really worth the risk of taking that trade as we speak right now? For me, it's not in my book. 1.5 risk to reward ratio. It's not in my book. So I'd rather let it go. If I didn't catch the bottom here, for some reason, I mean, to be honest with you guys, I did not trade this BTC. I did take an earlier trade with your imbalance too low, but it failed. I was out. I'm happy with that. But I did take the same kind of analysis on Ethereum because I had a bet with a friend and I need to hedge my bet. So I did take a trade on Ethereum. But that specific case on BTC at 48,000, will I take that trade right now as with you today here? No, I will not because my risk to reward ratio is too low.
The crazy part is if you want to trade this on the daily, that's going to be where you need to hide your stop limit. And then that becomes not even worth it. The extreme, because you're risking more than you're trading. And that's why you're not getting bulls in the market. Bulls are looking at this on different time frames and they're saying to themselves, you know what? Give me more favorable odds or else I won't do anything.
So now assuming that we are right, assuming that we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, what if, from what we just seen here, 45.6 was the bottom of the first small wave 0, and what we had here at 38,785 is the top of the first wave. Not even that, the next one. Yeah, if that is the first wave, and now we're coming back to the second wave, then maybe there's an opportunity here to take a trade if we are counting of this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. So 2 retrace at the golden pocket, 618, 786. Okay, you put your stop a little bit below the start at 45 to hide your stop loss. And you have a target of 52. Now, all of a sudden, your risk to reward ratio is much bigger. And that might be a nice trade to take.
That might be a nice, but what do I want to see? For me, on the larger time frame, same analysis points to this area here, and I want to buy around 45.9. So we're currently sitting
as long as it's not making a lower low. I mean, your stop is there. If you're looking for
your stop is right below here. So stop limit, let's just do that. Make sure stop limit right there, hidden right there. In both scenarios.
But what is important here is your risk to reward ratio has changed completely with the same targets, with the same analysis, with the same targets.
52. 325, 3.5.
So if you have your table now with this kind of risk to reward ratio, what is your percentage of mistake that you can afford to make?
Yes, you can be wrong 5 times and probably make more.
Even more.
So, okay, guys. So we're gonna end it there. We don't wanna take up too much time. It's already a half an hour. I think we kind of already went off script again. We love talking TA too much. I think we need to go on a TA detox, Lee, because we talk too much trouts. Right, guys. Lee, that's my thoughts. So are we buying for investment or are we buying? Let's just close this off. Are we buying as an investment? Are we buying as a trade? For anybody that's now still unsure, what are we doing?
Longer time frame, bigger time frame, it's not an investment area. So I'm buying, if it comes, I'm buying maybe with 2 positions, one for small short-term trade and one for what if we go impulse and a bigger wave time, bigger time frame trade. So my suggestion is, if you don't know what to do, if you want to trade, is 2 positions, open 2 positions, one for 52 target max, take your profit, say thank you to the market, and do the same thing again when it comes back. And the second one, if it goes higher, if the second retrace doesn't beat the previous low, and then we're gonna go impulse, then we can go for like 64, 63 targets, and now you have your second position that you can carry on a longer time frame.
There you go, guys. So out of the mouth from the trade expert. Thanks, Lee. Really appreciate it, guys. So we need to pick somebody to win the Discord early supporter role. Let's quickly do that in the comment section. Joe, bring up our lucky winner for today, please. Let's see who managed to get himself a role in the Discord early supporter role. And and another thing. Whoa. Let's stop this. And another thing. Thanks a lot. We really appreciate all the comments you guys left. We're going to be choosing another person out of the comments as well. So if you didn't watch it live, we're going to be doing that as well. And we're going to be choosing somebody from yesterday's comments as well. And Joe's going to sort out how we're going to make that logistically happen for you guys. We want to say thank you to you guys, kind words. Everybody really helped. It helps keeping motivated. We're doing this for the love of crypto and for the sake of community. And we really do appreciate each and every one of you guys, sharing the love, giving constructive criticism. I'm always open for constructive criticism, and so is Lee. And I have to say, we don't have any haters just yet. Maybe we're too small. Most probably that's the case. We haven't gone through too many dips and pumps just yet, so it's easy to say that we don't have that. But the idea is, remember, guys, we're giving you the tools to be socially responsible with your own coins and trades. So in the end of the day, when you're making money, you're not giving me a commission. So when you're taking a loss, guys, that's sadly going to be on you. So we're trying to teach you. We're trying to help you. And the harsh thing is the market doesn't have an undo button. So don't ever think that it's fine to throw caution into the wind. That is when the market punishes you the most. Lee, any closing remark from your end, or can we end this so that I can go off a new bouncing ball?
Yeah, go buy a new bouncing ball. Please, Hudo is waiting for the likes to hit a little bit higher to go for a bouncing ball. So please, guys, hit the like, subscribe. It's free. It just gonna take you 1 second of your time, and we really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. You have a lovely day. Let's bounce, Lee. Oh, I need to press the right buttons.